these Stooges like... Oh, nice guy. Oh, hey, we're on. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Stooge Talk Live. And I got some good news and I got some bad news. And the bad news is, we'll start with this. Hello. Hello. Now, you guys know what's supposed to be happening here, right? Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Stooge Talk Live. I'm Andy P. And I'm Cricky D. And I'm Curly G, the youngest grandson of Curly, one of three Stooges. But they're not here. They're not here. What is going on? Can you guys hear me? At least you guys are here. Thank you for joining me for Stooge Talk Live. Curly G, the youngest grandson of Curly Howard of the Three Stooges, is sick. And he is not here. And I'm really sorry. We had a big, big night planned for you guys. Of course, Cricky D, who plays our Mo, he's out in Abu Dhabi or wherever he is out in the desert, playing around. And so I'm here alone. So sorry, Brad is not here. But we have got a bunch of crazy stuff to share with you guys today. I'm sorry you're sick too, Christine. Jessica, hello. Other me, hi. Sue. We can play a Stooge board game. We're going to do that. Well, welcome, everybody. Ron's Vintage. Hi, you guys. So welcome back to Stooge Talk Live. Unfortunately, it's just me. So I'm going to tell you about what is going on in Stooge land and trying to get this live together because it has been all consuming. So welcome. Before we get started, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, ring the little bell so you get notifications when it comes. And thank you guys for joining us for Stooge Talk Live. I'm sorry Curly G's not here. But here we go. So there was a lot going on. This is I realize now, I don't know how about you guys, but my life is quickly becoming consumed by the Three Stooges. It is crazy how this Stooge ball has gotten rolling. And last night we kind of solidified our Three Stooges podcast plan. Sue, thank you to support Andy. We love you, Sue. We appreciate it. That's coming in handy because I spent some money today. Not a lot, but it's something I really wanted. I had no idea what it was, and I wanted to share with you guys as part of the story. It's Three Stooges based. It's super fun and funny, I think, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. So I don't even know where to begin. I kind of started making a bunch of notes because this has been an absolute crazy Stooge week in the past couple days especially. So, you know, funny enough, last night or yesterday, I was talking to Curly G about our podcast and our producer Schwartzy, and we were talking about we want to kind of get going and get started and start producing. So I have been researching like crazy, reading as much Stooge stuff as I could get a hold of. And the podcast that we want to do, at least to start, is like a rewatch. Joel Hurley, you're welcome. Look, here's the thing. I kind of hope that you guys still wanted me to do this. I wasn't quite sure if I should go on without Brad, and we figured, what the heck, right? Christine, love you. You guys are amazing. Thanks for the support. And so we're planning on Three Stooges podcast. We're going to do a rewatch podcast where we're going to watch every short and then eventually every feature and then all the cartoons. Jimmy! Hope Curly G feels better soon. Me too. We need him for the weekend because we're trying to shoot this weekend. And in fact, what you guys don't know, this is true. Brad was actually really sick last week. Curly G came. He was on the phone. He's like, I don't know if I could do it. I don't feel good. He's sick, right? My first birthday with this beautiful community. Thank you, Anna. Happy birthday. Do your Mo voice. Okay, we'll get the Mo. Brad, last week, he was like, I don't feel good. I don't know if I can go on. And I was like, I don't know. Should we do it without you? I mean, we got so much Stooge stuff to talk about. And he's like, yeah, go on. And then, you know, I'm setting up. And then all of a sudden there's a knock on the door and he comes in and he's like, we got to go on. We got to do it. And I said, you okay? Are you sick? He's like, I gotta, there's Stooge fans out there and they need us. They need comedy. And he starts backing himself. I'm going to get it. And so we went and we got a bunch of lemons that I got from actually Shemp's great granddaughter. She's got a tree, and we squeezed the lemons, and Brad just drank almost straight lemon juice, just a little bit of water to just pump himself full of vitamin C to give him that pump that he needed to come on out. And you saw last week, he was getting more and more hyper. And he is like that in real life. Like I keep telling you people, guys, Ron's Vintage Electronics. Greetings, little shut-in. Don't you weep or sigh. If you're not out by Christmas, you'll be out by the 4th of July. Thank you. Brad got sick from the cookies. He may have. He may have. How do I say this? Pablo Chioscolo. I'm going to learn to say that. Super chat. Thank you so much. You guys are the greatest fans in the world. Maybe if we do enough of these, we could actually buy the rights to the Stooges and let them take over the world. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, Brad is not feeling well. Hopefully he does get better. He tried. He really was. He was like, I want to be ready for this weekend. So unfortunately, I'm hoping he was going to at least pop in, but he might be a sleepy. But anyway, he says hi. And then Chris Dermick also, he wanted to, this is part of the story. So I got this invitation earlier in the week. Now, it's not Stooge related, but it happened to be done. This happens to be an invitation for tonight, and it is from Heritage Auctions. And it was like, please join Heritage Auctions for a reception featuring highlights from the estate of Veronique and Gregory Peck, right? Hudson Train Guide. Thank you. We love you. Since Curly wears a bowler hat, it's now called Laurel, Hardy, and Curly. We're going to talk about Laurel and Hardy in a little bit too. Thank you, Hudson Train Guy. We love you. You're such a great supporter. So Gregory Peck was having this thing, and it's tonight, and I really wanted to go, right? But we don't want to break our Stooge live date. So I was like, I think we should bring Brad. Somebody's texting me. I thought my phone was off. I think we should bring Curly G, and we go live, and we'll figure out there's got to be a Stooge connection to Gregory Peck. I'm sure of it. Same time period, right? Hollywood classic. Thought you guys would love it. I'm sure we were going to get kicked out, but we would have had a blast. And then, of course, something else happened. Curly G says, hey, I got a bunch of comics from American Mythology Productions. Send us a bunch of comics. And I was like, well, maybe we should talk about the comics instead. I mean, it is directly Stooge related, right? And not go to the thing. So then we're like, okay, well, let's talk about the comics. And in fact, maybe we do just a whole episode just on the comics. Talk about these new comics that they got going on. Talk about the history of the comics. We show some of the old comics. We talk about what you guys might have, what we want to see in the future. And then last night, as I'm reading through all these old Stooge journals, which for those of you who don't know, the Three Stooges have an ongoing fan club going back to when Mo and Larry gave their blessings to start this fan club. And they put out Three Stooges Journal, a magazine, every 4 months. 3 months. Every 3 months, I believe. So here's 3 issues that I happen to have. And of course, I picked these out because it's Vernon Dent's birthday. So I'm reading this, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's Vernon Dent's birthday. Maybe we do something about Vernon Dent. So now we got, okay, do we go to the auction? Do we do the comic books? Do we just talk about Vernon Dent? Do we talk about the podcast that we're doing? Dennis, thank you very much. Right? And then Chris Dermick, he says, hey, I got this new software. I think we'll be able to FaceTime, and you could see me over here in Abu Dhabi, and I could join Stooge Talk Live. And I'm like, there's so much to do. I don't know how to do it all. So then Brad gets sick. So I said, okay, I don't want to cancel Stooge Talk Live, so I'm not going to go to this alone, which I really wanted to do, right? So we're not doing that. I'd rather be here with you guys. So then Brad says, I'm going to be sick. You come up with something. I was like, well, I really want to do the comic books. So leave them outside. I'll come get them. So I drove all the way out to his house. Brett Hess, thank you very much. To pick up the Stooge comic books. So I picked up the Stooge comic books. I haven't had a chance to go through them yet. And then while I'm out there, I decide to go to this, it's out in Simi Valley, to this movie memorabilia store. Now, I've been out there just a handful of times, but I've gotten some amazing stuff. And I don't have the name of it. Maybe I'll put a link in the thing if I could find it. But I'm sure if you look up movie memorabilia in Simi Valley, this is going to be the first thing that came up. In fact, the first time I went, I saw these. These are the original 1959 Three Stooges hand puppets, right? And they're like in perfect condition. And we got them for Brad for his 50th birthday party, right? I think that was 40 years ago. Anyway, so we got these Three Stooges hand puppets, and he's got some gorgeous stuff. And I said, I didn't really have time to go, but I'm like, I'm out here. I gotta go. So I go, and I spend way too much time just looking around. And he's got some Three Stooges stuff, and he's got some Laurel and Hardy stuff. I mean, it's just like he's got anything you could imagine. What's interesting about this guy, also, by the way, if you've seen A Christmas Carol, Christmas Story, or The Toy with Jackie Gleason and Richard Pryor. The Toy was about a businessman's son who wants Richard Pryor as a toy, right? And of course, you guys must know Christmas Story. And the kid who sticks his tongue on the pole and gets it stuck. So that's the son of the guy who owns his shop, and he's been collecting this stuff for 35 years. And I met his son. He's a great guy. I would love to talk to him too, especially about working with Jackie Gleason. Hold on, let's see. Ron's Vintage Collection. I got Florabella. I got Dorabella. I got Stetson. Just, do you guys love the Stooge references as much as I do? Is Brad out there? Is he talking? There he is. Bradley. Everybody say hi to Curly G. Curly G is on. Hello, hello. Alfred, does Stooges have one more connection with Lucy? Oh, okay. Mel Blanc, who did the voice of Quinto in Snow White and the Three Stooges. Also worked with Lucy on the Strictly GI radio show in the 40s. All right, there we go. I did not know that. Fantastic. Roger, love the work you did on the SHEMP pick. We're going to talk about the painting too, for those of you guys who saw the painting video. So, where were we? So I start walking around, right? And I come across something. And I came across a couple things, but this one caught my eye. And it was $15. And I was like, you know what? I was like, this is what all this support for. Even just watching the channel, guys, just watching, liking, commenting, the support you guys have. We want to throw everything back into the channel, and I get as much stuff as I can to share with you guys. I don't know what this is. It's interesting. It's only from 2007. I can't wait to open it up. We're going to look at it together. Pablo Cosloco. All right, everybody help me out. Pablo Cosloco. Did I do it right? Huh? So, where were we? Are you guys missing Brad? Because I'm turning into him. Oh, Brad, hey, everybody. Where is he? Where's Girly G? Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Okay. So then I decide, well, look, we're definitely going to go talk about the comic books because we want to talk about the comic books. I'm going to go home and I'm going to research the comic books and we're going to talk about it. I'm going to open this thing that I got for you guys to look at. Joel Hurley, love you. Jeff, you guys are amazing. Love your Stooge excitement. I have been all Stooges all week. It's been crazy. I've been reading everything I could get my hands on. And in fact, I read something and I pulled it out. I had a copy of this and I pulled out an article that I want to read and share with you guys, and we need to talk about it. I also found a comic strip. And, wait, so hold on. Wait. I'm jumping all over the place. Last night, I'm working, and I'm going through the Stooge journals, trying to find stuff to talk about for the podcast coming up this weekend that we're shooting, and for the live. So, pardon me. Alfred, I always thought Abe Vigoda looked and sounded a bit like SHEMP too. Don't know if you noticed that. I'm also for the Crimson Shadow. Crimson Shadow, of course, we remember you. I always thought SHEMP would have been played great by Steve Martin. Because I think if you look at Steve Martin, I bet he could have pulled it off. I think facially, if he did his hair like SHEMP, I have to think about Abe Vigoda. I think SHEMP was actually prettier man. But that's a good one. What do you guys think? So last night, I am out. I'm over here and I'm researching the Stooges and I'm finding all kinds of absolutely fascinating stuff. And what is the definitive book on them? K Slater 23 asks. What do you guys think? I don't know if there's a definitive one. Obviously, Mo Howard's book, I Stooge to Conquer, is a must. It's an absolute must. Mo Howard, the Three Stooges scrapbook's great. I don't think there's probably a more researched book better than One Fine Stooge by Steve Cox. Those are good. Those are good, but I'm not sure if there is one that I would consider the one. Maybe we got to change that. I definitely think we need a really in-depth, detailed documentary series, and would love to figure out how to make that happen. So, last night I'm talking with a buddy of mine, and he's actually the guy who he's actually the guy who last week, if you remember, did an announcement, a big Three Stooges announcement that I read with Brad that he posted on Facebook, right? He's got a big thing coming. And we just started talking about stuff, and he goes, "Oh, I want to show you some things I have for you." So I don't have these yet, but he sent me a picture of Curly's will, his last will and testament, Mo's last will and testament. And then he sent me some lists that was sent to him in the 80s that a fan of the Three Stooges, a huge fan of the Three Stooges, was selling a bunch of his collection, his SHEMP Howard stuff. And I want to go over this list with you guys. And we got to track this stuff down because there is Stooge and SHEMP Howard gold out there, and we need to find it. And I also found out the name of SHEMP's dog, and I think you guys are all going to get a big kick out of it. So I don't even know where to begin. Last week on Friday night, for those of you who hung out with me, we did I did a SHEMP Howard painting live. It took about an hour and a half, and then another half hour kind of talking. I was thinking about doing it again tomorrow. What do you guys think? I was thinking maybe I would paint the three of them together. I don't know if in a scene or just their heads. Do we do Molar and Curly? Do we do Molar and SHEMP? Do we kind of redo these other Stooge ones and, give a little better go at them? Do we do one of the other Stooges, Joe Besser, Joe DeRita? You guys leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. And if it's even worth doing. I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys. That was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And we watched the Stooges. And I saw that you guys were all chatting with each other too, which I love. I mean, we're building a true Three Stooges community. And what could be better than that? So, oh my goodness, where were we? We have so much to talk about. Let's start with the generosity of... Oh, wait, hold on. I wasn't done with the story. So I leave the store after I buy this thing, and I decide, since it's Vernon Dent's birthday, I'm going to go to his gravesite and pay my respects. I go over there quite often, actually. It's a beautiful park. Stan Laurel's over there. Buster Keaton's over there. There's a ton of people over there. Albert Broccoli, from James Bond producer. It's where Carrie Fisher, Liberace. I don't really visit those guys, but Stan Laurel, Buster Keaton, and Vernon Dent, of course, right? And we went over, made sure there's his gravesite was cleaned, and spent a little time over there, just kind of honoring the man on his birthday. And it's funny. He's got this thing. I took a picture of it because I didn't want to forget exactly what he said, what it says. Of course, there's no mention of what he did in life. It just says there's no dates on it other than the years either. And it just says Vernon Dent, 1895 to 1963. And this is one of my favorite things I've ever seen on a tombstone. And it just says gentle presence. I really wish I knew more about that. I really wish I knew who put that there. He feels like, of course he plays the heavy in the Three Stooges. But he feels like a gentle presence. He feels like that's the kind of guy he was. Apparently, him and SHEMP became really good friends. And when SHEMP passed away, Vernon had gone blind, and he didn't really tell anybody. Nobody knew it. And he went to the funeral, and apparently, I think Sitka told the story about how it was kind of the first time people started realizing he was blind when he was, feeling he wasn't looking. Um, but hold on, we got some people. Ron's Vintage. We really need you and Brad to do the music reboot of the Curly Shuffle. That's fun. That's a great idea. We got to do that. Sue, a Curly and Brad painting. Yes, we're going to do that. I think that's a great idea too. In fact, that could lead us. We're going to talk about that more when we talk about the comics coming up here in a minute. So, but Vernon Dent, Gentle Presence. I just thought that was beautiful. So as I'm coming back and I'm researching and I'm pulling out, I'm like, gonna find all the issues so we could just kind of show off, our buddy Vernon. And as I'm doing research on him, then I realized that yesterday was Bud Jamison's birthday. No. Obviously, for those of you who are huge Stooge fans, know that Bud Jamison is probably as important and as loved, at least in the Stooge canon, as Vernon Dent and Sitka, right? So apparently Vernon Dent, I read, has the most shorts appearances with the Stooges. I don't know who's next. I would have guessed it was Emil Sitka was the first anyway, but apparently not. I got to look more into it. And there is a book on Vernon Dent. It's called Stooge Heavy. And it was written by, I'm sorry, here, I wrote this down for you guys. Who's it from? Oh, boy. Guys, where is it? Bill Cassara. And I would love to have Bill on the show. So somebody even recommended me reaching out to him and talking, see if I can get on him. So we'd love to get Bill. But anyway, I'm going to pick up this book. Definitely want to read more about Vernon Dent. Don't know too much about him. I know he started in the early Max Sennett days, and he worked with, hold on. I started pulling out some notes here. He was born on February 16th, 1895. He worked with Max Sennett, where in 1923 started, where he worked for several years, and worked with Mabel Normand, Ben Turpin, Harry Langdon, Johnny Burke, among others. He eventually went to, obviously, Columbia Studios, and he was in 59 of the Three Stooges short films. So, and he died. He had diabetes, which is how he went blind, and he died of a heart attack, which is, super sad. I see it says he was divorced. Interesting. And I don't think he had any children. So we'll do a little more research, and I'd love to do a little series for you guys and for myself as well, where we do little mini documentaries on all the players. And that's one of the things that's great about, for those of you who look up the Stooge journals, there's mini bios on everybody who's ever starred with any of the Stooges ever. And there's also the threestooges.net for those of you who don't know. Although, honestly, I was really kind of surprised to see very little on Vernon Dent. So I had to go outside that. But otherwise, it's a really great resource for you Three Stooges fans. So where to begin? Let's start with this I found in the Three Stooges journal. This is really interesting. And it's just a little throwaway, and I need to track this down for you guys because I think you'd probably be as interested in seeing this as I am. This is in issue 96 in winter of 2000. And it says, an animated Three Stooges series is being promoted to TV execs. A pilot episode has been made by George Page and Associates in California. Stop-motion silicone models used for the pilot were made by Chiobo Brothers Studios. A spokesman said the Three Stooges is going to be faithful to the original Howard Fine and Howard comedies, yet set within the madness of modern life. What is this? If the pilot sells, a series of 30-minute episodes will be produced. A group of Canadian comedy writers, producers called the Membranes will do the writings and voices. Hey, anybody heard of this? Have you guys heard of this? This is amazing. I want to know more, especially because it actually says a pilot was created. So since this is the first I'm hearing about this, I am going to try to track that down because we need to figure that out. I mean, it sounds fun, right? There was also somebody, they announced couple years ago, I think it's a company called Titmouse was going to do an animated Three Stooges cartoon. And if you look at the artwork online, it's so wacky, kind of reminiscent of Ren and Stimpy. It just felt right. It just felt absolutely right. So, by the way, also one of our newest pieces to our collection, a Three Stooges beer can, which is pretty rare. We got a ton of bottles, but this is courtesy of Trent Reeve, who helps us find bits and pieces for our collection. And look at this. I mean, bring this back, right? We need more Stooge stuff. We got coffee, we got comic books, but we need more Stooge stuff in our lives. Let's see, when my grandfather, mom said, was in the Army Air Corps, World War II, he once met Mo Curley and Larry on a train as he was headed back to base. And he got a ride at some point from actor Jack Carson. No way. Do you have any more details of that? Would love to hear that story. Any pictures? That would be incredible. The Chiodo brothers made Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I don't know. I got to look them up. I haven't had time. I've literally been going nonstop with this since yesterday. And I just can't believe how much Stooge stuff there is. So I was having this meeting yesterday with Schwartzy. Wouldn't it be that wouldn't be the Chiodo brothers, would it? Who are we asking? Hey, Puddinhead, I watched Mo's son's documentary. Hey, yeah, I got to watch that. Yes, it's on the Three Stooges Plus YouTube channel, which is the official channel of the Three Stooges, run by C3 and the Stooge families, including Kurt Lamont, who's Larry's grandson, who runs Shop Knuckleheads. For all your Three Stooges needs, go support those guys too. Also, just like the Vernon Dent book, I found some stuff on Amazon. I put a little link in our description here if you guys want to just looking for Stooge stuff. This is fun. This was in one of the Stooge journals. So whoever owned the journal before me must have clipped this out. This is from the comic strip BC, and it was April 16th, 2002. And you can just see how this Three Stooges have just, they're just part of pop culture. Even today, there's so many references to them, like Curb Your Enthusiasm. There's so many references to them on television, in print. I was listening to some political podcast for some reason the other day, which I don't usually listen to, and somebody mentioned the Three Stooges again. But here's this. Okay, so it's the two guys lying down. The one guy says, "My old childhood girlfriend was really sentimental." And his buddy says, "How sentimental?" And he says, "She used to cry when the Three Stooges hit each other." Comedy. All right, here we go. Let's look at what the beautiful folks over at American Mythology Productions have sent us. Now, Three Stooges comics go back to, when did they go back to? 1949, right? There was two Curly comics, which I think he had passed away by then, right? If I'm correct. That came out, drawn and written by Norman Maurer, who became Mo's son-in-law and married his daughter Joan. They're super sought after. They're super hard to get. They're super gorgeous. It's really some of the best comic book artwork I just think ever created. Literally everything about it. It's, as an artist myself, it is pure art. It just doesn't get any better than that. And then they went on and they did SHEMP comics, and I believe they did 7 SHEMP comics, starting from 1953 to 1954. I don't own any of these. So those are 7 comics I don't have any of because they're super expensive and super rare to get. Hopefully we can get them and share them with you. But American Mythology guys have reprinted some of them. So if you guys want to read them, some of them get in here. Then the Curly Joe years started coming, 1962. There was movie tie-ins. There was, issues of 4 here, issues of 4 there, and then there was a stack. I won't show you these again because we showed them last week, and one of the things I thought was really interesting, as I said, as I was looking around, was like, Mo's never angry on the covers. This is so rare. And so you could see that they've kind of aged a little bit, where they've gotten a little more timid, right? Where the first comic, they're literally, Curly's got a machine gun, going to shoot at somebody, to a ghost shooting at them, and this still cracks me up. I still love this stuff. But what we have in the new American mythology comics, and I've been so excited to get these because I really wanted to go through them, is we got Curly. We're back to Curly. And we got Curly, and we got Shemp, and we got Curly Joe, I think, and we got them all. Everybody's in here. Look, they reprinted the first one. So I'll finally get a chance to read it because I've never read it before. And then there's, of course, some new adventures in here. Oh, it is. I got to tell you why this stuff wasn't around when I was a kid. When I was a kid, we did have two. Hold on. These I remember buying these at a flea market in Maybrook, New York. Oh, okay. Look at this. These were always great. Couldn't read them without the stupid glasses on. I think I lost the glasses immediately, right? But I just love the covers. The artwork on these are great too. Those are in the 80s, I believe. And I did actually own a couple myself of these American mythology comics. They're just hard to get. So I think go right to their website and let's support these guys. I just look, they meet Laurel and Hardy. Where was that when I was a kid? I'm glad we have them now. These I got at the Three Stooges convention in Philadelphia in 2016, I believe. Oh, did I miss somebody? Sorry, Ron's Vintage. Did you know Michael Richards, Cosmo Kramer, played Curly in a Second City TV skit in the 1980s? I saw it in the 80s. First run, never saw it again. No, I did not know that. Thank you, and I will try to track that down. Gareth, yeah, you're late. Where you been? Yeah, Cheryl. This is a pretty cool collection. I mean, it is far from complete, but it is pretty cool. Now, I want to get back to these blank ones that I got when we were in. I got them at the Stooge convention in Philadelphia, outside Philadelphia, and I think 2016, which I'm ashamed to say we shot the entire trip, and I never edited it and put it together. And there's some really fun stuff. You see all the family. Brad causing trouble. There's a little clip that we put up of Chandler going around and interviewing some of the family members and stuff. But we have a video of Brad on the plane. It's I think the first thing we ever shot together, spontaneous in the moment, and you guys are gonna kick out of it. Kenny Wagner, pick 2. So look at these. All right, so let's just see. These are just a random collection. Inside, the Robotic Stooges are back. I don't know if you guys remember the Hanna-Barbera Robotic Stooges cartoons, which I was desperate as a kid to see these. They would put them on so briefly. I would catch 1 or 2 and then never see them again. I cannot wait to go through these and read them. It's still the Three Stooges. Somebody's got to sit there and write and draw these guys. And they get these gorgeous covers. Look, some of these look like reprints of some of the old cartoons from the 60s, which is great because they're hard to get and they're expensive. So these are much easier to just sit and read. And I can tell you, there was some stuff in there that they crack me up. They capture the voices of the Stooges. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for those of you Laurel and Hardy fans. This was on the back of one of them. And I'm going to try to get this closer and see if I can focus this because this is beautiful to me. For you Laurel and Hardy guys out there, look at this. Come on. Who did that artwork? I absolutely love it. We got to start a Laurel and Hardy podcast just to get. All right, now I got to figure out how to get focus here. This is not easy. I'm going to try something like this. We need a camera guy. All right, how are we doing? We still on? Okay, good. Robotic Stooges. So they have offered that we could interview and talk to their writers and their artists, and I would absolutely love that. I think it would be absolutely amazing. And I'm going to scan the covers and put the covers up and kind of give summaries of what's in these so you guys could check them out. I don't know. I don't know really what to say about these. I wish Brad was here because I think we'd have a lot of fun. Maybe reading them together would be an absolute blast. Of course, some of these are recreated right from the original comic book, Stooge Wars, or again, Robotic Stooges. And so I was looking online, and there's so many. They have so many issues. There's so much Stooge stuff. Look at this, SHEMP. We need more SHEMP. And I love that we're actually seeing SHEMP on covers now. So I really want to keep supporting these guys. We really want to keep, obviously, the Stooge stuff out there. We'd love to get these in more comic book stores. Guys, reach out to these guys. And what do you think? I bought these with the blank covers because I thought it would be fun to draw Curly G meeting the Three Stooges on a cover, right? And have original artwork of Curly G meeting the Three Stooges. And then, as I was thinking about doing that, I was like, why don't we have Curly G in these comic books? Right? When are we gonna have Curly G meet the Three Stooges in the comics? I think we gotta let these guys know how much you guys love the Three Stooges and how much we love Curly G and how he should meet them. Look at this. This stuff is so much fun. I don't know. Can you guys see this? Let's see if I can just. What's great is every issue seems to have, even within the issues, different artists giving different interpretations of the Stooges. Here we go. Back to the Robotic Stooges. Whose idea was this? I want to know who came up with the Robotic Stooges. Oh, here we go. A little focus trick. Who came up with the idea of Robotic Stooges? Robotic Stooges superheroes. Anyway, guys, this is probably my favorite cover out of all of them. It's a Christmas one. The artwork is just so great. It's reminiscent of the Laurel and Hardy ad on the back, right? I mean, don't we just love that these are out? I would love to do a performance of one of them for you guys where we sit and read them in character, you know? Hey, gee, that's a marvelous. Oh, what a promotion. Hey, I knew it. Took brains to get it to the top. This is fun because this is one of the few. This is from one of the original comics reprinted, right? And this is a comic of Uncivil Warriors where they literally took the script and they made it in a comic book form, which is one of the few adaptations. I think they did Hoi Polloi as well. So anyway, let's give some love to American Mythology comic books, guys. Let's let them show our support and let them know that we want some Curly G guest stars in some of the comics. And as I go through them, we're going to talk about them more. And as we go on and we get the boys back to join me, I think we should do a little performance. Of the Stooges comics. So, thank you guys for that. Now, where were we? Okay, so I go pick up the comics at Brad's, and I'm way out in Simi Valley. So I go into this store, and I come across this. I don't know what it is. Can you guys see this? Read this? Does anybody have this? Enrique, you should draw a comic for them. Okay, actually, I'm glad you said that. Because what do you think? Maybe, if we give them enough love, we tell them that me and Brad want to write and draw our own comic of Curly G meeting the Stooges. Right? We'll do the artwork. We'll do the writing. We'll donate it to them. We just got to let them know that there's people out there who want to support that. What do you guys think? And then maybe we can write it together. Oh, my goodness, that'd be so much fun. We could come up with ideas, throw out jokes. Huh? I like it. Anyway, so here we go. What is this? Who has this? Anybody? Ernest meets the Three Stooges? Roger? I love Ernest. Ernest reminds me of Curly G. It's a great idea. Hi, I would like to see skits with Shemp, Besser, and Dorita too. We know. Thank you, Mary. Yes, a lot of people do. We're working on trying to get those guys. We just want things to be as good as possible. So it takes time. Did you find that at sports and movie stuff store in Simi Valley? Yes, Wrestling Ernest Hemingway. That's where it was. Sports and movie stuff in Simi Valley. Why not a comic book with three Stooges as Doctor Who? The Mo is first Doctor, Curly is second Doctor, Larry's third, Shemp is the fourth, Pester is the fifth. It's an interesting idea. I don't know enough about Doctor Who, but why not? Let's put the Stooges everywhere. Can you do a Besser impersonation? I'd have to watch them. I can't. Just stop it. No. I guess the answer to that is no. Okay, so what is this? One-on-one with Mo and Larry. Never been heard before. Telephone conversation with a fan. Copies of actual letters and CD enclosed. And on the back is a quote. Sorry I missed your phone call. Mo Howard. First edition. Look for more to come. All photographs provided by Larry Fine. All photographs provided by Larry Fine or Mo Howard? 2006 to 2007? What is this? Does anybody have this? I did hurt myself. Yeah, I broke my foot. So we're going to open this up and see what this is. Now, unfortunately, if it's a CD, like it says it is, I don't have a CD player ready to play for you guys. But I will download it, and I'm going to upload it. And then hopefully we don't get in trouble for breaking any kind of copyright laws. But I know you guys are going to want to hear this as much as I do. I saw this. I was like, this is what this channel is for. Oh, here we go. One-on-one with Mo and Larry. So it is a CD, right? Rip it off the CD. I'm gonna post this for you guys. I'm gonna do it within the next couple of days. Number one is Conversation with Mo Howard on 1/26/75. Number two is Conversation with Larry Fine on 12/26/73. And there's two letters. One is from Larry Fine. It says, "Dear Ellsworth, as I told you on the plane, I got so much from it's Larry's handwriting, guys. As I told you on the plane, I got so much fan mail to answer. I'm going crazy." But you have sent me so many letters, I just had to answer you to let you know I read them all and appreciate them, even though I can't answer them all. My memory plays tricks on me since I have been sick. Oh, that breaks my heart, but my memory plays tricks on me now. But I do remember you telling me you got my book. Obviously, that's Stroke of Luck. If not, the mailing address is Larry, P.O. Box 313, Hollywood, California, 90028. Who's got that P.O. Box? All right. I'm going to look that up, and I think we should go visit it. What do you guys think? I have an idea. We're going to get to that in a minute. The price is $7.95. No money, but $7.95 something, no money, but a check or money order. Thank you. Your pal, Larry Fine. And there is a great little sketch. Looks like it was on the stamp of Larry. I'll have to scan this and post it. I've never seen this before. It's a little cartoon of Larry playing the fiddle, and it looks like Wembley Fraggle. And then here's Mo. And I'll do it as Mo's character, even though he didn't sound like that in real life. Hey, dear friend Ellsworth. I can't read this writing either. Something that you and yours are all enjoying good health. Sorry I missed your phone calls. Applauds. I applaud in Brockton in 1921. Isn't that nice? I have no idea what this is saying. City where they used to make all the fine shoes. I'll scan that and let you guys figure out what this says. All right, so here we go. Do we want to hear this? I'm going to put this up for you guys. I'll find some nice photos of Mo and Larry, and I'll put it up. We'll see what happens. Love it? Do we like it? Hi there, Shout Ahead. I love Shemp Besser, DeRita, Curly, Mo, and Larry. I know, Ruth. I know, Ruth. You want to see more Shemp. We know, Joe Besser. We're coming. I promise you. You're in our minds. Okay, how are we still doing? I got some Shemp stuff now. Are you guys ready for this? So again, I was saying, I was here reading, researching the Three Stooges, and my buddy Paul randomly reached out to me. He's a film historian, and he says, I got something I think you get a kick out of. In fact, I think it's going to upset you. I said, come on, what do you got? He goes, unfortunately, I don't have any of the stuff in it, but I have a list of stuff that was for sale in the 80s that went out to me and other Stooge fans. So I'm going to read this to you guys, right? This is heartbreaking. I sent this to Shep's great-granddaughter last night. She didn't respond to it, but I don't know if she read it. Shemp Howard's personal photos. Here we go. This group of photos came from Shemp Howard's own collection of mementos from his personal family album. I got these items from Shemp's wife, Babe, who I was good friends with until her death. These photos are from 1920s, 30s, and 40s, and are all unpublished and have not been seen before by the general public. There are captions and dates on the back of each, which were handwritten by Babe. They range in condition from fine to mint. The fact that these photos are unpublished plus originally owned by Shemp himself makes these very unique items. Before we go on, Emily Turner, today's her 21st birthday. Thank you, Andy, Curly G, friends, for being so much joy. Having a drink right now. Hey, everybody, let's give Emily some love. She's a huge supporter of the channel, always on. And we baked you a birthday cake. And if you get a tummy ache, don't you moan and groan and whoa. Don't forget we told you so. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, everybody out there. Thank you. I love the Stooge fan support. Okay, here we go. 8x10 photos that he sold. Shemp's wife, Babe, Moe's wife, Helen, and Larry's wife, Mabel, on the 1930 set of the Stooges' very first film, Soup to Nuts, posed with the film director, Ben Stoloff. A great shot. $10. $10. Studio portrait of Shemp in costume as Sinbad from the 1942 film Arabian Nights on heavy stock paper and a hand tinted in color. Very nice and rare. $25. Come on, anybody got $25 for this? Now, the trick is to figure out where these went. And let's get them back, or let's scan them and put them up. Even if somebody has them, they just got to share them with us, right? Shemp, Ben Blue, Robert Glicker, and Harry Moray shot from Very Close Veins, a 1934 Vitaphone short of Ben Blue's in which Shemp appeared. $3. Okay. Shemp in his dressing room getting a knitting lesson from Elsie Hall, wife of Hunts Hall from Bowery Boy fame, on heavy stock with matte finish, $15. Hunts Hall was Shemp's very good friend. In fact, it was Shemp's daughter-in-law, Jerry, who told me that Hunts drove Shemp to Curly's funeral. Oh, come on. Shemp, 1930 studio portrait on heavy stock with matte finish and a very nice shot of young Shemp. $25. I am the spirit of Rootin' Tootin' Diamond. Guys, just keep throwing out. I love this. Stooge quotes for us to read out loud. Has Chandler seen those? No. So I sent this to her last night, but we haven't had a chance to talk about them. I was so busy today. We talked so briefly on the phone, but I don't know. I don't know if she even read this. We haven't talked about it. But what's interesting is that there are more photo albums, and Chandler and I went down to her mom, Sandy's house, and we went through a bunch of stuff that her mom has. And I know her Aunt Jill has some stuff too that we like to look. But Chandler's kind of on the hunt to discover Shemp and discover her heritage. And, her mom and her Aunt Jill still have a bunch of stuff. Now, for those of you who have seen, Chandler showed some of her collection off that she's been slowly accumulating through her family. So there's a live where I think it was with Christmas time. We did a very Shempy Christmas with Chris Dermick and Chandler, and we went through some of the stuff that she has. So really fun stuff. You guys should check it out if you haven't. So here we go. Shot of a Strand Theater showing the marquee advertising the Stooges live appearance there. A marquee reads special in-person attraction, the original Three Stooges, a mirthquake of roof-raising hijinks. A mirthquake of roof-raising hijinks. Also pictures of Mo, Larry, and Shemp above a sign. People in front entering theater circa 1940s. $5. Shemp and Buck Jones in a scene from Hennice, 1937. This scene was shot at Buck Jones's house in the Valley, $5. Similar to the above, except only Shemp in scene. $5, only Shemp. I want that. I paid $200 for that. Original, 1942 still from Arabian Nights. Shot of Shemp's double jumping a horse over the throne in a sultan's tent. That's kind of fun. Just a behind-the-scenes shot, even though it's not in. $5. Shemp signing contract for the 1936 Vodafone series Joe Palooka that he did. Also in the photo are director Lloyd French, who also directed Stooge shorts. Head of studio and cartoonist and creator of Joe Palooka, Ham Fisher, $12. Close-up shot of the Three Stooges 1949 motion picture Harold, which they first received in 1949 for being one of the top 10 money-making short subject series, $8. Now, I don't think people realize that according to the box office, the Shemp shorts, I actually think even did better than Curly. I mean, that could be a multitude of reasons, not that he was necessarily more liked, but more people going to the movies, more people were aware of the Stooges, but they did really well. Here we go. We got more. Wait till we get to the last one here. I want to save it. Should I keep going on? You guys still excited about this? There's some fun stuff. Snapshots. Shemp Howard's personal photos. Snapshots. Oh, some of these break my heart. 2.5 by 3 photo of Shemp sitting on his couch in his living room, reading an exhibitor's magazine and smoking a pipe while his pet parakeet, SOB, is perched on his pipe. Funny shot. $10. Who's got this picture? And who knew before now that Shemp had a parakeet named SOB? Anna, send me a bag of that coffee. I only have one bag. I only have the one bag of regular, one bag of Mo. And then Brad's got one. And they're like 3 years old. So I'm sure they still sell it somewhere. Those are sent to us by those guys. So Shemp had a parakeet. We love it. 3x4 photo of Shemp and his wife Babe standing in an orange grove, eating oranges in 1925 while on their first cross-country tour with Ted and Betty Healy. Sorry. Very young Shemp looking and Babe dressed to kill. Woo, 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 woo. $10. With Ted Healy and his wife. What is your favorite liquor cocktail? Oh, I don't really know. I'm not much of a drinker, to be honest. I'll have to think about that. I'll have to think. 4x5.5 photo of Shemp's wife, Babe, sitting in their den, 1943, in front of a large oil painting of Shemp done by director Irving Scott. Where's this painting? Where's the painting? Not just a photograph. Photo gives a nice view of their den with pictures of Son Mort on the bookcase, $5. You know, that's the kind of thing that I'm just so surprised was sold and wasn't passed down to, because wouldn't you think that, you know, Shemp's or Mort's wife would want that, or their kids? Photo, 2.5x4. Shemp and Babe on vacation in 1932, mugging for the camera. $10. 2.5x3.5 photo of Mo and Shemp clowning around in front of Shemp's house in 1925. A real candid shot. $10. Somebody paid $10 for this. Where's this stuff? Hey, my mom and dad are on. Everybody, says Mike Pagana. Everyone give my mom and dad some love. My mom is definitely needs some of your prayers and some love. I'm going home next week. I got to go to New York. I won't be live because we got to take care of some stuff with Mom, make sure she's going to be alive and well and here for a long time. So please send her love and your prayers. And while I'm in New York, I'm going to try to come up, if I get some time, try to find some Three Stooges locations to check out. So thank you, everybody. Give my parents some love. They need it. They need it. And it's my mom's dad, my grandfather on my mom's side, who introduced me to the Three Stooges. So he is the reason I am here today. And my parents have, throughout my entire life as a little kid, have supported my Three Stooges habit. In fact, it was my dad who drove me and my buddy John Miller, I think it was in 1987, to the Three Stooges convention in Philadelphia. And it's been great because we've definitely had some laughs watching Abbott and Costello and the Three Stooges together. And of course, it's a mad, 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 mad world. Which is, I think, one of my dad's favorite movie, and probably one of mine, or definitely one of mine, which has a great little Three Stooges cameo in it. Okay, here we go. This one I love. Here we go. 2.5 by 3.5. Photo of Shemp sitting out in front of his first brand new house with his dog in 1926. Shemp and his dog in front of the house. Now, I believe the house is not far from here, Placidia, in Toluca Lake. We're definitely going to do a tour because there's a lot in that area, Three Stooges wise. They all live there. They all live close. Shemp owned a bar right down the street. 3.5 by 6 photo of Shemp, Daphne Pollard and director Lloyd French on the set of Shemp's 1934 Vitaphone short, A Peach of a Pear. I'm going to talk to you about this. A nice candid shot taken between takes on heavy stock paper. On the back of the photo, Daphne Pollard has written, "This is a scene from the cast picture. This is Shemp Howard and the director. Do you think I have lost weight?" A choice photo with an autograph of sorts from Daphne Pollard, an actress of the day who was also teamed with Laurel and Hardy. Unique. And it was also this short, A Peach of a Pear, where Shemp does the cooking the chicken like 7 years before Curly did it. So as far as I know, so far, this was the origination of that gag that was made really super famous by Curly in the Three Stooges later. And then Shemp does later again, separate two eggs. Separate two eggs. Let's see, here we go. 3 by 4 photo of Shemp in a dressing room, putting on makeup for the 1942 film Pittsburgh, which starred John Wayne. Separate two eggs. Yeah, you guys got that. So much love to my parents. Thank you so much, guys. One gag, two brother comedians. Isn't it great? I got a cigar for you, Curly G. Remember, I'm not Curly Jr. So those you guys are showing up late. I'm Andy P. Curly G couldn't make it today. We'd love to see Brad playing Shemp in his solo work. I know we're trying to figure out Shemp. Okay, Andy, please read this before you go. Wanted to share my favorite Stooge short of all time. Fueling around with the Professor Sneeze new rocket formula when Mo hit Larry with the hammer 20 times on the head. Fueling around. Why I oughta. Oh, thank you, Roger. Let's see. God bless you too, Lola. Thank you. All right, where were we? There's some more fun stuff here. We're going to find out the name of Shemp's dog, too. 5 by 7 photo of Shemp clowning around on set of the 1935 Vitaphone short, His First Flame, which he starred in. $7. I want every one of these. I want to share them with you. I want to put them up. 4 by 5 photo of Shemp, Roger Crawford, and others on the set of the 1942 film Butch Minds the Baby. Photo, a studio stamp on the back, $6. Oh, if Chandler's watching this, she must be heartbroken. 4 by 5 photo of Shemp in costume with Broderick Crawford and the baby from Butch Minds the Baby. This photo also has a studio stamp on the back, $6. 4 by 5 photo of Shemp and Dick Foreman meeting the mayor of Chicago while promoting Butch Minds the Baby. The mayor is holding the baby, which appears in a film while Shemp lights a match to keep the baby amused. Interesting shot. I know Chandler had some Butch Minds the Baby photographs or lobby cards. We got to check it out. Leave it to Shemp to have a bird like that. I know, it's great. Buzzy Jones, say a few syllables. Utter a few. I can't say it. Can't talk that fast. I know. Pictures of Shemp that are not found. I know. We got to find these. Okay. Oh, guys. Shemp Howard's personal photos continued. Alfred, have you seen Mo on Mike Douglas' show with Ted Knight where they are throwing pies at each other? Yes. For any of you who have not seen Mo and Mike Douglas, he was on there several times talking about the Stooges. You see that, at one point they asked him about his hair. So do you wear a wig? He's like, no, I don't wear a wig. He had gray hair at the time. He wasn't dyeing it, but he takes his little comb out and he combs it down. And there it is. It is a Mo Howard bowl cut. He shows him how to throw a pie. He does the Niagara Falls sketch. Yep, Kevin, you got it. Yeah, you guys got to check it out. It's what gave me the idea to do the Great Uncle Mo sketches with Curly G. Because let's face it, if Mo was still alive, he would still be pushing the Stooges. He'd still be replacing as many, he would keep the gags going. He would keep the comedy going. I think he lived for it. I think he loved that children loved it. I think all the Stooges loved the children, and he loved how much laughter he brought. And I think he would just keep going. And so my feeling was, look, we do a lot of Three Stooges impersonations, but you can never replace those guys, right? Shemp didn't replace Curly. He took his place, but, he was his own guy. And then Joe Besser, who I still love, and Joe DeRita, who, kept those boys going. And then, Larry had a stroke and Mo was going to replace him with Sitka. And I'm sure if they kept going, like Curly G would be a Stooge today, and maybe a robot Larry or something. Oh, son of a good moron. Here, this is interesting. So the following group are all original photos from Shemp's collection and are actual photos used in Jeff Forrester's as illustrations for his first book, The Stooge Chronicle, in 1981. I got these photos from Babe Howard after Jeff returned them to her. Let me emphasize, these are the original photos and the actual ones used in the book, The Stooge Chronicles. Next to each description, I have indicated on which page the photo appears in Stooge Chronicles. Some very choice photos here. 2.5 by 4.5, 1931 photo. Mo, Larry, Shemp, Jack Walsh, and George Charpentier standing in back of the RKO Vaudeville House in Kansas City. This photo was taken shortly after the breakup with Ted Healy, and the Stooges hired Jack Walsh as their straight man, and they were billing themselves as three lost souls. George Carpentier, pictured in the photo, was a heavyweight boxer who was appearing in the same bill with the Stooges and Walsh. It was used on page 31. 2.5 by 3.5 photo of Mo, Larry, and Shemp sitting on a couch and mugging it up, and behind them stands Nettie Horowitz, wife of Irving Horowitz, Mo and Shemp's brother. This photo was taken at Irving's house in 1931. We need to track down this side of the family. I know there's these guys are out there. I think they're in New York. I might have to do a little research while I'm home. 2.5 by 3.5 photo of Shemp and his dog Wags. Shemp had a dog named Wags. Shemp is kneeling and showing Wags a script. This shot was taken in Shemp's backyard in 1944 and is shown at the top of page 74. Shemp had a love for dogs that lasted his whole life. As you guys know, so did Curly, right? 2.5 by 2.5 photo of Mo and Shemp actually acting silly with balloons between their legs. This shot was taken in 1925 in Shemp's backyard. It can be found in the lower right corner, $10. $10 for the original photo of Mo and Shemp clowning around, owned by Shemp. How? Oh, Curly G, where are you? Hi, everybody. Curly G's. I'm channeling. Oh, that's Curly G and Andy. I'm channeling them. I gotta go. I don't feel well. What just happened? Okay. We're running out. This is getting down to it. I might save these two. And I'm just going to read the last one. We're going to save this for another time. I'm going to read the last one here for you guys. Dear, this is from December 18th, 1986. Dear such and such, Just received your money order today, December 18th, and I have packed up your one sheet and will send it out first thing in the morning via first class mail. Normally, I send items parcel, post, insured, but if I send it that way, there was no way I'd get it to you before Christmas. I hope you do get this before Christmas. I did all that I could to assure you would, but as of today, there's only 6 more mailing days left. All right, here we go. You forgot to include money for postage on this item, so just send me whatever the postage charge is indicated by the stamp on the package. I will probably be selling SHEMP's diary, but it won't be for a while. I want to conclude the sale of the remaining items on my current list before I make up a new one. I will have a detailed description of it on my list, but I can tell you SHEMP has listed many things in it, such as addresses of friends, a record of people who had owed him money, mainly Larry, places he traveled to while on tour and his expenses, ideas on comedy routines and jokes, and much more. It's a choice personal item and one of a kind piece. Where did that go? Where did that go? Don't you guys want to read this? I just want to see these addresses. I love this. A record of people who had owed him money, mainly Larry. Larry, like notorious, was the worst with money. He was super generous, made sure Curly had money. Yeah, Shemp had a diary, Jessica. Shemp had a diary, and Shemp's wife sold it. Oh, it should be in the family, and I should have it on loan right now from the family reading it to you guys. And unfortunately, I don't. But I know there's still 2 more pages. We're going to go over that another time because there's still more. I'm going to try to track this down for y'all. We're going to find out where this is. Whatever it costs, we're going to try to get it. And we're going to try to share it with you guys because it needs to be shared and seen. And maybe we can finally get a definitive book on SHEMP. Where's a book on SHEMP? And where is, somebody asked, what's the definitive book on the Stooges? We really need one, right? Let's go in depth into these guys. So, okay. I think we're running out of time here. What do you guys think about tomorrow? I was thinking about doing a painting. You guys let me know in the comments down below when we get off what you guys want to see painted. And if you guys want to join, is it worth doing? Also, like I said, we're doing the first 3 episodes of our podcast this weekend. We're shooting. And we would like to, we're going to talk about every short, starting with the first Columbia short, Woman Haters, and go to the end. And then we'll probably pick up on the features and the other films before that, the MGM films, the TV shows and stuff like that. But we're going to start with the classic Columbia shorts. And we're going to watch them beforehand, and then we're just going to talk about them. Me and Brad, as silly and as serious as we could possibly be. And I think maybe we should answer your questions. So let us know what questions you guys have for Woman Haters, for Men in Black, and for Punch Drunks, because those are the first 3 that we're going to be talking about this weekend. Like I said, next week I have to go to New York. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be gone for. I don't know what's going to happen to Stooge Talk Live while I'm gone. I don't know if Brad could pick up and do it. If I could do something from New York, I'm definitely going to still be working for you guys. I got editing to do. I got a lot of writing to do. I'm going to try to do some location scouting if possible. I don't know what it's going to be like at home. And that's it. I guess that's it. Let's take any questions before we go. Painting, yes, and please, thank you. Okay, yeah, I'm thinking about doing it. I think it'd be fun. Do you remember when Mo hit his wife with a pie by surprise on Mike Douglas? No, I got to rewatch that. Joel Hurley, paint Vernon Dent, huh? I could do a Vernon Dent. I feel like he needs one. I'm not sure if I'll do one tomorrow, only because I need to find like the perfect picture. That's the thing about painting these guys. It's like, it's such a stress for me to find the one that like speaks to me. But I'm with you, Joel. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it just because you suggested it too. And I think we need them, right? We what we could do is we could pop on some Vernon Dent, shorts that we know he's in, and let's give a listen, right? Let's give a watch and listen to the Stooges as we do a live painting. You could do a painting of Sitka My favorite supporting actor. He's coming too. And in fact, we definitely got to get Saxon involved, his son, who I know is he knows so much, and he's got so much of his dad's collection, and he's got so many stories. Christine McIntyre, Alfred, thank you. Yeah, she needs to be painted, right? I mean, she's like everybody's favorite Stooge gal. Vernon Dent was born in my city, San Jose, California. Oh, maybe we should take a trip down there, figure out where he was. How's Jerkola Curly G? He's sick. He's sick. You double cross you. You need to be SHEMP. There needs to be a Shapanamonican by H.P. Mocraft. That's pretty funny. I watched Sing a Song in his pants an hour earlier. Yes. Great one. I want to see you do the happy face of Shem playing the piano from Scrambled Brains. All right, it's good. Stooge Hunt. Stooge Hunt. Let's talk more about this, Blocky Gamer. Paint Brad, and I don't mean on paper. That's a great idea. Oh, Brad, I'm going to paint you. Would love to see try to... Ruth, I know. We know. We'd love to see try to Brad play Shem. Well, he wouldn't play... I think if we do Mr. Noisy, he's not going to play Shem. He's going to play himself. I mean, that was a a remake of another short, which was also, I think, a remake. So, anytime those shorts get remade, and of course, Shemp's is my favorite. I think we look back and like, well, let's Curly G keep the tradition going, right? But I know you wanted to get him playing Shemp, and we're working on something. Hoping to get supplies. I need to do a Harpo Marx impersonation. Checkered shirt, old cardboard top hat, horn, and a raincoat. Beat it, Gramp. Classic game music. That's one of my favorite lines ever Larry has ever said. Beat it, Grandpa. We don't have time for kibitzes. When he takes the brush and he hits Mo, and it looks like Mo's got like this beard. If you had a favorite gag object, what would it be? Oh, if you had a favorite gag object, what would it be? I don't know. Who was more popular between the Three Stooges, Laurel and Hardy, and Abbott and Costello? That's a tough question. Popular is such a, it depends on how and when, right? I think they all went through their different popularity phases. Probably in the 30s, Laurel and Hardy were probably more popular than the Three Stooges were at the time. I could be wrong, but my guess is they were. They were probably considered more serious comedians or artists. They were also kind of ignored by critics, but they were hugely successful. And Abbott and Costello were some of the biggest stars in the 40s. And I think the 50s, really, the Stooges kind of started their run when TV came in. And they were still making shorts, of course, and they were doing really well in the theaters. Probably that was also their most successful time in the theaters. But TV made them the most popular. And I think they also had their biggest, like another huge resurgence, right? They kept going through the 70s, 80s. They were huge, and Laurel and Hardy and Abbott and Costello, they haven't stayed in, I think, the public consciousness like the Three Stooges have. I mean, I think if we're doing a Laurel and Hardy podcast right now, it wouldn't be like this. I just don't. And I absolutely adore Laurel and Hardy so much. Anna, you'll be in California next weekend. I'll be in New York next weekend. Jackie McCann. Hey, Andy, my pals Jim and Vaughn have been trying to say hello to you. Hello, Jim and Vaughn. How are you? Thank you for joining us. Would you ever do a movie tribute to your grandfather, Curly, Babe Howard Curly G? So again, just so we know, I'm not Curly's grandson. He's not here right now. He's homesick. Yes, but he will. He will. Yeah, he's working on stuff. We are working on stuff together for him. He had a neighbor, John Cliff, film and TV character who appeared in Three Stooges Me Hercules. So is he still around or did he pass on? Quinn Redeker just passed away. He was in that movie. Shut up and finish your job. Andy, how about Shemp was trying to iron pants? Yeah. Just thinking about stuff like that makes me laugh. Do you think there will ever be a Stooge convention in New York? I don't know what's going on with the Stooge conventions. Probably not. If there's a convention, it probably won't be in New York. It could be in LA or Philadelphia. It said that most classic comedians are viewed. Yeah, I know. It's like Laurel and Hardy have disappeared in 2023. I mean, that's what we love about, our fellas over here at American Mythology. The fact that they're still making a Three Stooges or Laurel and Hardy cartoon. I mean, I love that. And they've finally, for the first time ever, started meeting the Three Stooges, Laurel and Hardy, and they're fun to watch. They're just fun to read. And obviously, there's love for these guys. The people who are writing this stuff and drawing this stuff are fans. So, again, like, thanks to these guys, and thanks to the Three Stooges coffee guys. Like, we need to support this and keep this stuff going. We get nothing out of this other than we just want Stooge stuff everywhere, right? We want to keep these guys out there. New generation needs to do it. Do an impression of the Russian clock from Spook Lottery. No, I'd have to watch that first, but bring that up to me again, Rick. Actor Sean Penn would make a good Shemp. He sort of looks like him today. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, somebody else said it looks like Sean Penn looks like all the Stooges. He was supposed to play Larry, and if you look at Sean Penn in Carlito's Way, it's crazy. It's like he's impersonating Larry, and I thought he would have made an absolute doppelganger for Larry had he done it. Whatever you think about Sean Penn, he's an incredible actor, and he can just transform into different people. And man, I was so looking forward to him being Larry, because Larry is so difficult to impersonate and replace. Not that you're going to replace him, but to just be, and just Larry's so vital and so funny and so underrated in so many ways. Stan Laurel directed Ted Healy in a Howard Roach silent short. I didn't know that. Which one? Roger, I think. Oh, hold on. Everything just went wonky. The Three Stooges are the best. I was going to be a new movie. I'd want to include Shemp, Besser, and Dorita. Yeah, I mean, we at least need nods to these guys, right? I mean, they're all Stooges. They kept the Stooges going. You know why Brad never got to meet his grandfather? Because he passed away. Because Curly passed away when Brad's mother was 14. So Brad wasn't even a thought of being born yet. And even Brad's mom didn't know her father too well. He had already, Brad's grandmother had already remarried to, funny enough, a man named Mo. And, they really kind of kept Curly out of it. So, and unfortunately, she didn't really know Uncle Mo. I'm trying to get more of the story, and we're going to be interviewing her soon. So, you want one of the buttons I have? Oh yeah, I can get you buttons. I got buttons coming out the wazoo here, and I have one. I don't know where it is. It's a Curly G button. It says, "I know Curly's grandson," that we keep around. So if we meet you in real life, hopefully we have him on here. We'd just like to give them out. So, yeah, Curly had a small cameo in Stooges short with Mo, Larry, and Shemp before he died. He played a sleeping character. Hold that lion. Oh yeah, he was Hold That Lion in full head of hair, right? And he had the the thing on his nose. How did Brad not notice he looked like Curly? I know, he looks just like him. It's really crazy. I come to wonder. So when I first met Brad, I was like, I instantly took to him, and we instantly were just like super close friends. And I realized later, it's just like he felt so familiar to me, and it felt like I knew him my whole life. And I think it's because I kind of knew him my whole life. He's got so much of his grandfather in him. And I think subconsciously, I felt like I was home, I don't want to see buttons come out of your wazoo. Good. Good call. Yeah. Brad looks so much like Curly. It's crazy. It is crazy. Are there any Three Stooges shorts with Joe Dorita? No, just the cartoon, the features. They did live performances. They did a lot of live shows, but they did live performances on like Ed Sullivan and stuff. There's a lot of great. And for those of you guys don't like Joe Dorita, look up the live performance stuff with Joe Dorita, because he's funny. They do the stunt show where he plays Larry stuntman. they do the operation where they operate on Larry, and you get the sense of why they hired him, why they thought he'd be a good third, and what the live shows must have been like. So he did do his own solo shorts at Columbia, yeah, just not with the Stooges. How is Schwartzy? Schwartzy's great. Thank you for asking. He's going to be producing our podcast this weekend. Don't know if you got in the first one. I had said I grew up watching your granddad's many years ago. Not my granddad, Curly G's granddad. But yeah, thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, the 2000 movie was kind of meh. It's like it was heartbreaking, and then you come to realize a lot of it, was kind of fabricated and wasn't really true. That's the one that was directed by Mel Gibson. I think it was 2000, and he produced it. I don't think he directed it. In fact, I'm pretty confident he didn't direct it. Joe is a Colombian veteran himself. Perfect addition for the Stooges. How many movies or shorts did the Stooges make with Besser? 19? 17 or 19? I think it was 19. Some of them are really funny. Give him a shot. Are you allowed to say what the podcast is called? We haven't quite figured it out yet, but I'll announce it next time we go live. I'll let you guys know. We're trying to make it, kind of silly. How would someone schedule an interview with Brad? He's pretty easy to reach. I think the best way to reach him would be Facebook. Just find either Brad Server on Facebook or Curly G. He checks his messages all the time. Instagram is probably not the best way. How would let's see? Please. When's your next show? I don't know. Unfortunately, I have to leave town. I'm going to try to keep something going on for you guys and keep posting content. We love doing the lives. We just love connecting to you, talk to you. Do you draw other pictures of other comedians? Not really. I didn't really want to do people that are famous. I kind of just do my own paintings, but like the Stooges have inspired me, and I just thought it'd be fun to do. They've like I said, they've become all consuming in my life, and so why not do this with you guys, right? Thank you. Mel Gibson should know and meet you guys. I know Mel Gibson's a huge Stooge fan, and I think Joe was the only Stooge that was Italian. He was? I did not know that. A guy on YouTube made some shorts with Curly Joe using cartoons intro pieces. Interesting. Where? I want to look that up. Yes, a podcast coming. Love your paintings. Thank you. Send your mom my love. Thank you so much. We need a Soupy Sales painting. Wow. We know, Ruth, Brad playing SHEMP. We know, I know. I promise you. We hear you. We talk about it. How do you like? What's the matter with that egghead? Hope your mom is okay. Thank you. Any real injuries during the Three Stooges movies? Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Mo broke a rib. What was the one there? He's standing on the. They used it a couple times. He's standing on standing on a plank of wood and he's cutting, and then he steps off and he falls down, and you could see it clear as could be. He goes down hard. In fact, when I first saw it, I could not believe. I was like, how did they do that? Well, come to find out, he just did it, and he hurt himself hard. He got up, did his thing. They yelled cut, and he was done. I think he passed out. There was another one where him and Shemp and Larry were dressed as women. They were running down the hall, and he twisted his ankle real bad, and he fell off to the side. And then Larry got jammed in the head with a pen. They had a prop guy put a pen on the string, and the pen was supposed to shoot into Larry's head, and it shot into Larry's head, dug deep into it, started bleeding. And if I remember the story right, Mo got so angry, he either hit the director or the prop guy who did it. I think it was the director, but I'm not sure. I have to look that up. But yeah, they got hurt quite a bit, actually. Yeah, Adam West passed away. He was in a Three Stooges movie. It was The Outlaws Are Coming, which Don Lamont was also in. And we met Adam West really, really briefly at the Stooge convention in 2016. I think I got some video of Brad, but it's real fast. I think he just walked right by us. I'm trying to paint like you, but smaller to begin. Yeah, I get it. It's much easier for me to paint bigger than it is to paint smaller. When do all of you live together? Hope Brad gets better. Thank you very much. Yeah, we hope, as soon as Brad's better and I'm back in town, we're going to be back together and hopefully doing more. I've been wanting to do 30 days of Stooges where we do something Stooge 30 days in a row and just get a bunch of guests, go to a bunch of locations, do a painting a week, do a location a week, do SHEMP's family a week, try to get a hold of Mo's family, go to a location, get an author. I mean, there's so much to talk about. So I'd like to try that. Hey, Andy, cheese, give me some cheese. But anyway, I guess that's it, guys. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. We'll do a little painting together. It'll be fun. Send me your, questions and your thoughts on the first 3 Stooge Columbia shorts. Let us know what you think. Modern day version of Kook Store is a great idea. Oh, yeah. Thank you. See you next time. Hot steak is better than a cold chop. All right, you guys. Keep stooging. We love you. We'll talk soon, I hope. If I don't see you tomorrow, we'll be back up. Just keep your eyes out and go revisit some of the other stuff we got on the channel. We got more stuff coming to you. We love you. And see you off.